Hello stampers and crafters, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today's card is this one. This is a center step fold. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very cool. I love the 3D look of it. I'm going to show you exactly how to make this card. It's not as hard as you think. It does fold quite flat, so you can mail it in a regular sized envelope. It is just such a cute card. We are going to be using the Trucking Along bundle from Stampin' Up! To create this card. So if you want to see exactly how to make it, please keep watching. So like I said, we are going to be using the Trucking Along bundle from Stampin' Up! I have been using this bundle. I have been loving it. It is a photopolymer stamp set with 26 stamps and the Trucking Along Builder Punch, which builds a truck, or you can stamp one and punch it out. This was out of stock. It came out in July in online exclusives. It went out of stock within like a week. The punch is back. You can now get the bundle. It is exclusively in the online exclusive. You will not find this in any catalog. So I wanted to make this card. I have been using this bundle all week long. I've made several projects with it, but I wanted to do something that wasn't quite Christmassy. So I loved the every day is a fresh start sentiment, and I'm loving the blues from the Countryside in Designer Series paper, which is in the annual catalog. So let's start by doing our card bases. There are two bases here. You can find all the measurements, all the products I used for this card on my blog. Just click the first link in the description of this video. It'll take you right to that blog post. Let me get this out of the way. Grab my paper trimmer because I'm going to show you how to do the bases for your card. Now I've already done these, but I do want to show you the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. So there is a cutting blade and a scoring blade. That is what I did for this card. So your first base, this is Misty Moonlight, is 8 inches by 5.5, and you're going to score at 3 inches, 6, and 7. So I just want to show you what that looks like. So you're going to take your trimmer and you're going to come out, oh, I gotta go this way. You're going to come out to 3 inches, score it there. Nope, it was this way. 3 inches, score it right there. That's 3 inches. Then you're going to slide it out to 6 inches, which is there, score it, and then this opens up, and we're going to move it out to 7 inches and score it there. And you're going to do all of this on the 8-inch side, the long side. Then for your second piece of Misty Moonlight, this is 6 by 3 inches, and you're just going to score it at 4.25. So you're again going to take the long edge. I want to go this way, the long edge. It doesn't matter what way you go before you score it, but I've already scored my pieces, so that's why it matters. And then you're just going to score it at 4.25, and now you have these awesome little fold lines. So now I'm going to show you how to put the card base and all the Designer Series paper and everything together. I am going to grab my bone folder so that way I can burnish some of these. Now you're going to kind of make a valley or a V, an upside down V, a triangle with this. You're going to kind of accordion fold it. So it's going to go like this. It's going to look like that when you get the fold the way you want it. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to burnish these score lines so they stay. So I did that first one, and this is the inside of our card here. Then I'm going to burnish this one. And I'm going to turn it and burnish this one. And we'll take this, we'll do the same thing, we'll burnish it like that. So this piece is going to go here. But you don't want to put your adhesive all over here because you don't want to get it stuck. You're only going to use a little bit. I'm going to show you that in 1 minute. Let's put down our Designer Series paper first. I have all our pieces for our card here. Again, all the measurements are on my blog. Don't need those right yet. This is the inside. We still have to stamp that. But these are all our Designer Series paper pieces. So this goes on this one. This goes here. That goes there. We're going to put those down really quick, and then we can get into stamping. I'm going to put my designer series paper on my cardstock first. Just a little bit of seal. That's a little bit crooked, but with that going over it, you're not going to really tell. If you want to make sure you're getting perfect placement, I would use liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of time before it dries completely. I'm using seal just because for me it's faster. I'm going to put this part down on our Misty Moonlight. And then our designer series paper down. This is boho blue, because there's boho blue, night of navy, balmy blue, all in that Countryside Inn designer series paper. And you can use whatever papers you want. I just really liked how the blues looked. Now we're going to put this down. And I like to open it up just so I can see where the center is and everything. Just like that. And then we're going to take our little strip here, right down here. Like I said, this piece was a little bit crooked, but this is going to cover it up. So I'm just going to fold this back again. And what I did to get the placement the way I wanted it, as I just kind of looked, and I went all the way to this edge here. I'll show you. So you just take your seal or your liquid glue and just on that edge, and then down in this bottom edge. And then I just kind of centered it and lined it up. And then you can push that down. And there is our base. So our base is already done. Now we just have to move on, do a little bit of stamping, a bit of punch and fussy cutting, and then we can put the elements on our card. So I have our stamps and everything ready to go. We're going to be using 3 ink colors. I have Boho Blue, Night of Navy, and Memento Tuxedo Black. We're going to start with the Night of Navy. And we're going to do, this is the inside panel of our card. We're going to do that part first. So what I did, I'll show you the sample card again, is I took some of the flowers there and stamped the bucket. Show you on the stamp set. There's this outline of the buckets. I stamped that in Night of Navy, and then we're going to stamp that part, the filler part, in Boho Blue. So I have the bucket here. Just ink that up. And right down in the corner. And then we can get our Boho Blue out and do, oh, that's not it. Here it is. Yeah. Make sure I have these going the right way. And these just kind of roughly line up, just like that. So these stamps are done. And our inside piece is done. I'm just going to set that to the side. I did I did die cut a stitched circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. We're going to ink up our sentiment in Night of Navy and just put that right in the middle of that die cut. Set that to the side. And we're also going to fussy cut a little bit. So I have these sunflowers. It's from the same set. There's, where are they? Right here is the sunflower outline and then the filler. So I'm just going to ink that up in Night of Navy, but I'm not going to use, I got it out, but I'm not going to use the filler part because I want to color it on my own. So I'm just going to stamp this down here. And we're not going to do anything with that yet. We're now going to move on. I'm done with these inks. We're going to move on and we're going to do our truck. And you don't have to do this, the next part after the truck. I'm going to be using some Stampin' Blends. If you don't have Stampin' Blends, you can use the stamps in the set and maybe the Boho Blue, or you could use Balmy Blue if you're doing blue, to color in your truck. I wanted to do a little bit of coloring. I love coloring, so I'm going to be using a few Stampin' blends. So I have Balmy Blue, dark and light. They do come in a combo pack. And then just some dark smoky slate. And I'm just going to color in the truck and the flowers. We're going to start with the light Balmy Blue. And I'm going to start with the brush tip end. And I'm just going to go over the truck a little bit. Very careful not to get into that window there. And I'm going to fill the whole truck in. So I messed up on my flowers, but I have colored my whole truck here in the light Balmy Blue. I've colored the flowers in light Balmy Blue. I re-inked it in Night of Navy. I messed it up. So what I'm going to do now is we do have to stamp the inside of those flowers. I'm going to ink it up in Night of Navy, and I'm going to stamp off once. See how dark that is? I don't want it that dark. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to come over and stamp the flowers and try to line that up as best I can. It's a little bit off, but it's fine. So those are our flowers. Now I'm going to turn this. I'm done with the ink. I'm going to take the dark smoky slate and the pen tip end, and I'm just going to color in the wheels and the bumper. There's that little bit of bumper right there. And you can go over the outer wheel a couple times to make it darker. You just want to give it a few seconds in between to dry. And now I'm going to take the dark Balmy Blue, the brush tip end again, and I'm just kind of going a little bit over the wheel wells, some of these shadowy pieces like the highlights, I don't know, I'm not an artist, whatever that's called, I'm going over it. And maybe the top of the truck, the hood a little bit, maybe that back, like tailgate part, the front. And then I'm going to give that a couple of seconds to dry, and I'm going to go over the whole truck again with the Balmy Blue just to blend it because these are Stampin' blends. And there is our truck. So I'm going to grab the Trucking Along Builder Punch. Just going to kind of set that in there, line it up, and then punch it out. So we have our truck. And now for our flowers here, I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to fussy cut these. So now we're ready to assemble our card. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to put our inside piece in. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal, just run a little bit along that, open our card up, just center that, stick it down, and then we can put the flowers on our truck. Now for this part, I did leave a little bit of white down there. My fussy cutting skills are not that fantastic, but they're getting better. My trick, I don't know if you saw it, I should put it in writing there, but my trick is to move the paper when you're cutting and not the scissors. So I just put a little bit of liquid glue on the bottom of that and stuck it to the truck. So it looks like the flowers are right in that truck bed. And then I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals and pop them right onto the back of that truck. And while I'm at it, onto the back of our sentiment. And that's going to go right on the front of our card. So I'm going to put down the truck first, right towards the bottom. And then we can put our sentiment on towards the top, and we're not done yet because I want to add some bling. I have some of the 2023 to 2025 in colored dots. Just going to grab my take your pick tool and these boho blue dots down here, and I'm just going to kind of randomly spread these around and put one there, and then on the sentiment, maybe that's a good place for it. little bit different than our original card, but whoops, pretty much the same. So I hope you enjoyed this card today, and I hope you think it's as easy as I do. It's not too difficult. It's a really cool fold. I think the people you give this card to will love it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more from me. I hope this inspired you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.